we can do with this little canvas. It's going to be fantastic tonight. Everybody, let me get you zoomed down. Scroll in here. There we go. Right about there, Joshy. Perfect. Everything's looking amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out, as they say. Let's take the old Paint with Josh 2-inch brush up here. I'm going to show you everything I've already done to this canvas. I've got a 15-inch by 30-inch canvas. Blacked out the whole bottom section in Liquitex black gesso, not just a regular acrylic paint. Liquitex black gesso. Then I let it dry. Then when it came time to paint this scene, we covered this section in liquid clear, and we covered this section in liquid white. So the whole white area is nice and wet and slick and ready to go. So let's get down into our phthalo blue. Just a little bit of our phthalo blue out here. We're gonna start crisscrossing and bouncing back and forth, and the more that we mix it, the more it's gonna go down and blend into this softer color because it's mixing with that liquid white. It's got that liquid white all over the canvas, and it's really gonna help us blending out our skies, right? I've been getting the question a lot because I got a couple reels going crazy over on Instagram and on Facebook, and been getting the question, you know, how much paint, why does your paint spread so easily? You know what I mean? And it's all because that liquid white, that's the key. The secret ingredient is the liquid white. Look at that. The more you blend it down, guys, the more you can do. And remember, Paint with Josh brushes are available on Craft Ammo's website, CraftAmmo.com. Head over there and grab your set while you can. I'm telling you, look at this. The more we mix it, the more it will eventually disappear because it'll blend in with all of our white, that liquid white. Remember, it's still wet. Now, let's get up here and just go crazy, right? We'll put a little soft little cloud out there into the night. You guys, in the night. Maybe we pop up in here. Bang, just a whole bunch. You can see it kind of blended away very quickly. It's because I didn't have enough white on my brush. If we want the white to remain out there and remain brightish, then we have to put enough of it up here so that when it blends down and starts to blend away, that it stays bright enough across that blue paint, right? Gotta have it stay bright out there. So the more paint that we put up there and the less pressure that we then mix it with, right? The brighter and brighter it will stay in the night, right? The softer you do it, the softer it is, the harder you do it, the more soft that color goes, right? And just kind of pops out there in the night, guys. It's gonna be fantastic. Now, you guys gotta check in. Tell me where you're watching from while I mix up just an enormous pile of this Paint with Josh plaque. Remember, it's 2 to 2 to 1 ratio. So 2 blue, 2 crimson, 1 black. You don't wanna overmix it and have too much black. That's gonna make everything too dark. So 40% blue, 40% crimson makes 80%, and then the last 20% is our black. Right? Now we're gonna wipe off the old palette knife, and let's go crazy. We got a really tall canvas. It's a 15-inch by 30-inch canvas. So let's get up here with a good amount of paint onto our knife, and let's just start going crazy, boy. Where do we want this guy to be? How do we want him to look, right? I never like it to just be a perfect triangle out there, right? So you gotta come in from the side, mess it up a little bit, and just put that paint out there. Now we're gonna scrape up this excess paint that's still on the canvas. See how we're making our mountain even larger? Look at all this stuff, right there. That whole big pile of paint was gonna make our mountain grow even more than it does right here, right? And so we gotta remove that excess. Get up here and grip it. And depending on how much paint that you have up here is gonna depend on how far it slides down, right? If you got a whole lot up there, it's gonna grow real far. You don't have so much. Remember how we blended down into that softer? There's not as much down there. It's not gonna go as far. You're gonna grab the back of your peak, whip it off in the other direction, pull it, slide it out, blend it again. The more that we mix even with this dark color, the more that you mix it with that liquid white and our blue underneath, the softer it becomes, guys. Isn't that cool? Now let's get out here. Let's grab a little bit of our titanium white, a little bit of our phthalo blue, nothing too crazy. We'll mix it up over here on the side. Boom, boom, boom. Then we're gonna get a little touch of our white, mix it in with a little touch of that blue, so it's not the same right? We want to have our white obviously stand out, but we want it to have a little twinge of that blue color as well. Just a little piece of it, right? Get out there like that. Don't need it to be perfectly white. Now, maybe we'll take our blue and we'll come off the backside over here. All right, we've been doing a lot of mountains where the light is on the right, and so let's put our bluey shadows on the right. Now we got to grab up enough blue off the knife and then very gently, not trying to push so hard, just trying to graze it. That's all we're doing, trying to graze it out here, grazing in the grass. Just chilling. Maybe we'll pull our ridge down this way, right? The more paint that you put up there, the brighter it's going to be. So if you want them to be really thick and really heavily blue up here, then get up there and put some blue up there. You're going to need it. You're going to need it, guys. Right? The further you go down this way, the more your shape your mountain has, a little ridge. It's already looking 3D as it sits right now. Now let's come in here with that white. Let's come off of this side. Just let it whip. Right? If it doesn't want to come down all the way, that's okay. Maybe you didn't have enough knife. Maybe you didn't use enough pressure. Whatever the case, we're going to get it figured out. Right? Come up in here a little bit, right up along the edges. And then just let it drag off of our knife, right? We don't want it to be supremely thick as it's coming off in either place, whether it's in the blue or the light side. Look at that. Just a little ridge coming up and meeting those colors. Maybe we dump down a little bit more of our snow down in here. You gotta have the snow. You gotta have the snow, guys. If you don't have the snow, then what do you got? You got nothing back there. Oh, that's gonna be gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Right up along the line. Drop that little bit of white. You don't have to get every single bit of all the darkness covered. That's not our goal. We're not trying to make everything all the same amount of brightness. We want to have those bits of light and bits of dark. Now, let's come with our 2-inch brush very softly, because we're not trying to brush the paint. We're not trying to make it move. We're just trying to graze it. Again, just grazing in the grass out there. Chilling, right? The more that we then tap at this guy, just by kind of grabbing into that paint and letting it soften its way out, turn our brush, go down this side, this side, this side, right? Just tapping it and tapping it and tapping it out, because you don't want all of that crazy texture around the bottom of your mountain, especially if you're going to come in and do another mountain or put a bit of cloud in between them or whatever. You don't want to have too much paint out there, right? Now, let's say we took our big old fan brush, we got all fresh titanium white on there, and we'll launch in another little cloud at the base of our mountain back here. Right? Very simple thing to do. Remember, get your Paint with Josh brushes. The mods will tell you how to go, where to go to get it. But the Paint with Josh brushes are available now. You guys can get them and do the exact same thing I'm doing right over here. Isn't that fabulous? Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, back out of the comments and just give me one thumbs up. Just like the live just one time, and then you can bounce out. You don't even have to say goodbye when you scroll away. You would have already helped me. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more of our white. So we came down in here, launching it, pushing it full bore against the canvas, just as much as we can possibly get to come off of the brush. All right, then we'll dab off our 1-inch brush so there's not so much blue. Come back in here and start mixing it down very softly, right? We're determining what it's gonna look like. If I want to go back over a certain space, I can. Right? I can do whatever I want to do, guys. That's what makes it so much fun out here, doing whatever we want to do. Now, let's take some more of that plaque over here. Let's continue on with these mountains. Right? Maybe it dipped down. We had a whole nother little bit of it down in here, and it was coming across, and all this little stuff. Just go fast when you do it. You know what I mean? I love going fast when I'm doing mine. That way, it's not a planned out thing. It's nothing too crazy. I'm not really worried about trying to make it perfect, because that's the best part about this technique. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can roll with whatever happens on our canvas and learn from it and adapt to it, right? We don't always have to just do one thing or the other. Drag that guy out over there, right? Got to take his other side though and come off the other direction, kind of meeting it in the middle. Little Malcolm in the middle back here. Maybe there's a little valley that cuts through just because it wanted to, right? And then we can go back and highlight that a certain way and have them all look like they all decided to be there. Oh, it's fantastic. Come off of this side. Again, pulling it down, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. eventually we have to flatten off down here. See how we're going horizontal, and then up here we're starting to get more and more and more diagonal. The diagonal alley. Did he say diagonally? Over here and over there. Right? And then we'll go back and we highlight whatever we want it to look like. Because that bit of cloud is in between our two mountain sections over here, it's going to help push that first mountain way into the distance. Going to grab our blue and white again. Right, mix this guy up. Don't need to have too much. This mountain's a little bit smaller. A little smaller than our last guy. Come over here with our blue side. And again, how do we want it to look? Maybe that guy's a little steeper in his mountain cliffs. Right, just getting right up against the edge. Whipping it down. Whip it down, my friends. Right? Not every little piece has to all be in the shadows, and the shadows don't all have to be sliding down. And come over here, then get a little flatter. Right? It's all about how we want it to look, guys. Where is it going to be catching that light? Well, maybe it's going to be catching it off of two different little places into this guy. Maybe we get a bit of our white and a bit of that little bit of our bright blue down here, and we'll mix this guy up. And that way, it will be bright, but it's not pure white. If it's all pure white, we're never going to be able to tell a difference on anything, right? If this guy whipped down, maybe that white went off to that side. You never can tell until you get back in there and do it, guys. So try some stuff out. Get a little flatter and flatter and flatter at the bottom. Don't go too crazy up into here. Give a little whipski, a little schwip and a schwipe and a schwipey poo, right? Just a little schwipey poo as we get up into here. Just like that. Bang, right? Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Literally, you don't have to cover every section. Maybe our light came all the way up over here. Just because we wanted it to, right? We can do whatever we want to do. Seriously, who's out there telling us we can't? Nobody, because it's nobody's business, right? No one else's business what we can and can't do on our canvas, right? If they don't like it, that sucks for them, because we like it. And that's all that really matters, is liking it enough, and then someone else will like it too, right? Oh, man. He's a beauty. Look at him, guys. He's gorgeous. He's just gorgeous. A couple little bits of our mountain pass right back on there. Now, we obviously don't want to put on so much color that we cover up all of our darkness, right? That's not the whole goal. We don't want to lose every single bit of our dark area back there, right? It's never going to be our goal. We never, ever, ever want to lose it all. So, try not to cover too much. Right? If we're covering too much of the dark with too much light, we're going to lose our depth. I'm telling you, I've done it before. So don't do it. Just don't you dare do it. Right? Come off of this side very lightly. Very light. Right? Back in here, we can even blend some of that sky back. Filling in that little gap. Right? Coming off of this side again, lightly, lightly, lightly. Not trying to brush the paint, just trying to graze it out there. And then the more that we mix back and forth, especially down around here around the bottom, and the more it will turn into its own little misty bit of fogginess, right? Just the coolest thing you've ever seen. You can't tell me it isn't. Now let's get back into our brush. We have our Paint with Josh fan brush, very thin, very sharp Paint with Josh fan brush. Back over here, let's decide up into the misty parts, not right up into the snow, right? Go up into the snow and we're not gonna have a good time. You pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're not gonna have a good time, right? All we're gonna do is put in a little forest back in between these guys, right? Now, when you first put them on, they look like little sticks, which is okay. We're just kind of tapping in, tapping in, tapping in, right? Then by the time we get down here, now we're using full pressure on the brush in order to spread them out and fill in their dark section, right? We have to cover the base of our mountain in order to push it into the distance, right? These guys can look as big, as thin, as crazy as they want. And if you want them to kind of stick together, we'll go like this, kind of tap it down, go over here, and then go off its right side, go off its right side again. And now you've got a little, like a tower of a tree, right? So we fill up this little section over here, over there, wherever. Doesn't even all have to be the same. It doesn't all have to be the same darkness. They don't all have to be the same thickness or the same shape or the same height or whatever, man. Because all we're really doing is worrying about the top edge, and we're just trying to save a little bit of that misty area of our mountain in between these two things, right? Wiggle it down, wiggle it down. Remember, the Paint with Josh brushes are a little softer than the Bob Ross brushes. You can use them for acrylics and for oils, right? And so they're going to react a little bit differently or act a little bit differently. But that's why you're getting them, right? You want to see how they're going to be, what the difference is, and you can see what we can do with them over here, right? It makes you think you can do that same thing with your set of brushes. Now, we don't even really need to go all the way to the side, but since we've gone over this far, we might as well. All right, again, fill in the base. Hard, full pressure. Only really worried about what the top edges look like. Everything else underneath gets destroyed. Destroyed. All right, let's take these guys. We got a couple areas over on the side, especially this big old canvas. When you're doing those Pro Series canvases, you can almost paint a whole scene on the edges. So don't waste your area. Get back up in here and throw down on some crazy old trees, my friends. Just make sure we dab them in real good at the base. That way we can't see through. All right, now, what if we grabbed our 2-inch brush, come out here, and just swipe it up. Little swipey poos, little here, little there. Not trying to drag up so far that we hit all of our mountain and stuff. Just flattening down the paint. That's all we're doing, guys. Guys, there's my voice. It's been cracking here as of late. All right, we're gonna come in here like this. We're gonna tap down on all this darkness. Each time we do, it's going to mix in with the liquid white that's underneath. All right, so we're tapping, dragging it down, tapping it down, tapping it down, going back up, coming back down, even on the sides of the old canvas out there. All right, get it out, go over here, we're tapping it, we're pushing it, we're mushing it, we're filling it, we're doing all sorts and on the edge as well, right? Not trying to get all of our color down into our darkness. We don't want that. We don't want that, you guys. But just like that, you can create some mist. Let's say you didn't have enough. It wasn't bright enough for you. Okay, go back in, grab some white. All right, just right on the brush, couple swipes. Back up in here, over there, over here. And sometimes we use a lot of that plaque mix, and it's hard to turn into a brighter color, right? It happens. That happens. Look at that, though. A little bit of foggy mistiness, right? Mix up the bottom. Just kind of filling in all those gaps down there from our light, trying to peek its way through. And all of a sudden, you got this humongo forest out in the night. Oh my God, I got a wicked cool idea. Just a wicked cool idea, my friends. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you give me a thumbs up. You guys, you're gonna have a bad time if you pizza when you're supposed to French fry. I do customized, personalized paintings. I don't paint people or animals, but I can do you something custom for you. Quite simply and easily. All right, let's take a new brush, new clean brush. Get in here into our darker blue color with nothing else, nothing but the blue. And maybe we had just a falls out to the right, down, straight blue. Nothing else, right? We don't need anything else. Pull it down, pull it down. Now you have to add a little bit of blue down around the base. Say we were gonna fall down on this waterfall and it did something. You got to have the color down there. Otherwise, you're not gonna have anything for your water to mix with by the time it comes down and hits the floor, right? Now, let's get out there. Since we got the plaque mix going, and we still have enough of it. Do you think we've got enough, anyway, to make another tree out of that pile right there? All right, we're gonna come in. Look at the Paint with Josh brush. It's just fattened itself all out, like, without even cleaning it. Since we're just gonna use the same color again, I'm gonna wiggle it back down with enough paint on the bristles that they all stick together. It's all you need, right? And let's say maybe we had a little guy just out here. Doesn't even have to be taller than those trees. Right there. Coming in with just a corner, tapping at it, pulling away. Tap and pull away. Boom, right? Tap and pull away. All you have to do is have enough paint on your brush in order for it to stick to the canvas. And when it pulls away, deposit on the canvas and not be stuck to our brush. Right? That's all you got. little thing out there. Just a funky old little tree in the night. Each tree can look a little different. Each time they can be a little crazier and get a little bit bigger. You can have some branches pop off of them. They don't just have to be out there and do whatever you think they gotta do, right? And they can grow down as far as you let them grow down. Popping out a little bit on that side, popping out a little bit on that side. Little thing, right? Little thing in the night. These little branches of that tree. Oh, he's fabulous, guys. Now, since I've already got the white paint onto this brush, let's light up our river waterfall. Right? Eventually, of course, we would have a little bit feeding its way towards us, but let's go right from here. We're going to go out and over. Right? Out and over. Out and over. We're going to fall down back beyond the thing back there, right? We're going to pull these guys to the side. Just like that. And we know that the water doesn't come from over here because this is all land, but you have to pull it to the side just to give it the effect that it came from somewhere and it didn't just come falling straight out as we go over these guys. Just like that. A couple little bits. In the night. Yeah, guys. Man, that looks cool. All right, we need to mix up a little bit more of our Paint with Josh plaque, so let's get into there. You guys got to tell me what 3 colors mixed together make up Paint with Josh plaque. The deepest and darkest of all deep, dark colors known to exist in mankind's history. Yeah, guys, there's the voice. Woo, baby. I like it. Dudes. Yeah, we're going to put some more trees back in here. Do a couple more treesy bits. Maybe this guy. I love this little section of my trees, though, too. And so you almost have to decide where you want to put stuff based off of your background. Bang, right there. Bring him down next to his little friend. Come out here, very small little taps. The more we go down, the more we contact the canvas, right? So it's the brush that's hitting the canvas and getting fatter because we're pushing it more into the canvas. All right, get out here. Start pushing it and mushing it, letting these trees intersect. That's why we put them so close. So they would get down there and crisscross by the time we got to the bottom. That's gonna make your trees look like they're growing up together. They're not all separated. Right? Now, let's come back. Maybe we can get one more little guy and then we'll throw in, yeah, let's do one more little guy. None of these trees are as tall as the other one either, right? We're not trying to make them all the same height. Tap, 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 tap. Bop, 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 bop. Tree. No? You guys don't believe it? That's fine. Smush it and mush it and get all that darkness to go cover our little guy. Oh, I like him, guys. Now, of course, he's got to have a bit of land underneath him. So, what if we grab, do we have any of the sap green? Do we have any of the phthalo? No, the cad yellow? We got some Indian yellow. We'll go sap green, maybe a little of our yellow oak. Oh, there it is. Yellow ochre and sap green. Right, then we'll come down here, tapping down and just right on top of that water. Right, maybe we got a little bit of land, but what happens? We turn our brush, and dab it in. Got a little land bridge right here, little falls. Little land falling off the edge, right? So we can come down and roll it over, same, rolling, tapping the brush and changing its direction as you're going to roll it over the side. Man, that looks cool. Right? Woo! How far do you want your grass to show on the way down? That's up to you guys, right? Now, oh baby, I can see a whole nother thing. But do we have enough plaque mixed up in this pile to make at least one more tree? You guys let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the mints below. Cosmic Lighthouse over here pinning stuff and over on YouTube. Boom! I hope those are happy to. No, they're the angriest of all trees. They're just mad. Of course they're happy. They're on a Paint with Josh painting. That makes them literally the happiest trees known to mankind. What if we came off of this dude? I like this, going smaller and then getting a little bit bigger. So let's go in here, make him a little different, a little taller. Bang, he's got to come and cut through that river. Right? We have to make the river disappear so it only shows where it's coming from in a certain place. Right? Come down here. Turn our brush, get a little bit more paint. You know what? Let's make this guy a little saggy down. Little hang-me-downers. Filling it up, just going off his one side. And then we'll turn the brush and we'll go off of this side. Pop, 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 pop. Right? Couple little doers out there in the night. The bigger you make them, the bigger you have to make them. And then make sure it goes down past our water. Look at that little guy. He's gorgeous. Oh, he's scraggly. He's just a scraggly old monster. Now watch this. We make him a little taller. All right, we can come in off of this guy and start going little by little, back and forth, kind of extending him out and making sure that he looks exactly how we want him to look. Ooh, I like that, guys. I usually don't like these downward sagging trees, but I like that guy. Nice and filled in, our little friend over there, right? Now, let's go back. If you said that we did have enough paint to do one, you were correct. But do we have enough to do this last one? Do we have enough to do the last tree, you guys? Sure, guys. Type it in, yes or no, in the comments below. Bink! Right over there. And then we're going to pop upwards. I like popping up. I can make them a lot faster and easier, and they just look better when they're kind of growing upwards. They look more alive to me versus when they're just these downward saggers. They just look so sad, right? They just look so sad out there in the night. Boom! Guys, look what happens to the Paint with Josh brush. Perfectly normal, right? You can go back, fill it out with paint again. It'll stick and become its normal shape. But as soon as you start using it, maybe there was one more little guy, it's going to start to split because the bristles are thinner, right? They're not Bob Ross brushes. So don't expect to have Bob Ross brushes when these guys show up. Look at this poor guy. Look at this poor old guy. He's got so much oil and chunky paint stuck in him that it literally changed the shape of the brush from that to what it was, right? Just like that. Gorgeous. Shoot! And then we do one more little guy. One more little babe in the woods out here. We got the paint. We got the paints. Pop, 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 pop. Just kind of filling it in. That way, we don't have anything around the edges of our little guy. A couple little branchies out there just to poke out. Oh, he's gorgeous. All right, let's get that grassy color back over here. So our yellow ochre, some of our sap green. We don't have much of the sap green left. And then what are we going to do? We're going to come in, decide where we want our trees to live. So cutting right through that tree. Right? And then maybe dab it down. Right? Each time we dab it, it's going to look a little different. It's going to be a little broken and odd. Oh, isn't that fabulous? That is fantastic, you guys. Oh, baby. I like it. Let's get in here with our yellow ochre and our chappy green. Bang, man, a whole nother little bit of grass just end up growing right here, hanging over the side, leaving some spaces in between so it's not all the same amount of dark. All right, if it's all the same amount of green, then we're never gonna be able to tell that anything's underneath there. And just by changing it and rolling it over, and rolling it down, we can very easily have cool little things happen right out here in the night. Now, let's say we got a little bit of color out here, just a little bit of splasharoos at the base of our guy. So we'll come back in, we'll mix it up just a little, up into the waterfall, down and around and over here. We got a little bit of splashiness happening down there, right? But I got another cool idea. What if we had our yellow ochre and the sap green again, tapping it and then pushing up into the pile to get it out there on the edges. And what happened if this guy came rolling through and fell over the side as well, right? Just because we wanted him to. We can have whatever we want out here in the night. You guys. Let's see. Who's over there looking at my Etsy store? Don't look at my Etsy store, guys. No. Go to the Paint with Josh store, which is paintwithjosh.com is where you want to be. Let's roll this guy down too. Right, just piping it in, leaving little bits of darkness in between. Now we got a whole nother little thing living down here, guys. Woo! Now, what if I didn't like this grassy area, okay? What if pop a little bit of white right into there, get back in here, mix it up so it becomes like this misty action piece that's happening over here. And that way we can't tell. Now, what I want to do is get in there and drop down something big living on this guy, but we'll come through. We'll put our highlights on first. Let's go highlight our little trees in the night. Yeah, guys. I'm gonna get a little bit of my sap green, our liquid white, and the yellow ochre just to have the paint come off the brush. You gotta have that liquid white in there as well, right? We're gonna hit this guy first because he's out here on the edge. A couple little taps. Not trying to hit every piece the same, right? We don't want every bit to be just as bright as everything else. And then work our way up the backside, up his rear over here. A couple little things, leaving some spaces in between, right? We can't touch every single piece of the tree and light up every single branch the same because nothing is like that out there. And the more that we light up our colors of our trees, the less depth they're gonna have, right? We don't need them to be so bright. If you really go out there and look in the wilderness, right, there are many different shades of our colors. Let's put a little bit of our trunk in there too. Boop, 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 just like that. Literally, all you have to do, come back in here and just try not to cover up that straight line all the way. And if we cover it up too much, then what was the point of putting it back there? Just like that, guys. I'm telling you. Little pieces of light, little pieces of dark. We're trying not to cover up every spot of light. We cover up every piece of dark. If we cover up every piece of dark, then we're not gonna have any trees at all, right? We won't be able to tell it's a tree because all of its dark shadow is no longer, right? And when it's no longer, then we start running into issues, man. What if we come out here, a little bit of our yellow ochre. Oh, this is a downward facer. A couple little bits. A little here, a little there, tapping onto it. Letting it get darker as it goes down because we know that it's not gonna hold all the light. The plaque mix really dulls down our tree branches, right? And so we don't need everything to be so bright. We don't have to have everything be showing or have such a bright highlight on it, especially if it's over onto the side over here. Pink. A little bit shadowier, a little deeper, a little darker, just a little more shadowy, right? That way we're not seeing every single bit of every single thing. Because if we do, then we're gonna hate our tree. I'm telling you, I've done it before. Literally done it before and been like, oh, Josh, you should have stopped back then while you were ahead, my guy. But you kept going and you kept going. And now what happened? We don't like our tree, right? So, I'm telling you from experience, get out there, pop in a couple little bits of bright, and then a couple little bits up its backside. Little things. We don't want to see too many. We don't want to have too many bright areas or too many dark areas. And if we can see too many things on every tree, then we know we've got no depth, because if we want depth, we've got to be able to leave that darkness. Leave it, man. A bit more of my liquid white and the sap green just to help the green come off the brush with ease, right? You want to touch it with a very soft touch. And whatever happens, whatever comes off the brush is what comes off. And then you get out of there. You leave. Get out of that spot. You don't want to be in there with all these colors being too close together. Right? They're too close together, you're just not gonna like it. I'm telling you from experience, guys. Literally, I've done it many times and covered up way too many highlights on my tree. So you don't want to do that. Remember, this one is available if you go to paintwithjosh.com. Right there on the homepage, very first thing you're gonna see. Now this guy, boop, a little bit in, a Little taps, little taps, little taps. Kind of like a Z pattern, back and forth. All right, and then we can go back in and fill up little spaces just to make it all make sense. But not every place can have a highlight on it. Ooh, that one's like yellowy. Oh, I like it. So they're not all the same. That's the best part about it too. If you're loading the brush on the fly, they're not all going to be the same, which is amazing, right? We don't want them all to be the same. If they're all the same, then what the heck? Why? What are we doing this for? We don't need them to all be exact. There we go. Little baby bits. Little baby bits. Little pieces in the night, my friends. Bink! As little things, wherever you think they should be, is exactly where they should be, guys. Don't let anybody tell you that it shouldn't be there, or this or that, or whatever. You just get your tree on. You get your tree on over there, and you have fun while you do it, okay? That's all I ever ask of you. Have some fun while you're out there getting your tree on. And quit screwing around. You're screwing around too much. There we go. Gorgeous! Yeah, guys! I don't like a certain area. We go back in with our plaque mix, and we make it darker. And then we can go back over it again with our light and our highlights and just tap in a few little slaps. Bink! Literally. All you gotta do. You mess around too much, you touch it too many times in the wrong place, and it's gonna bite back at you. Literally. Ooh, man, those are cool. Okay. Guys, remember, if you like this one, head over to paintwithjosh.com. If you purchase it, you get to pick the title forever. Forever here and henceforth. Whatever you decide is what it's going to be. So, if you like it that much, and you think you got the best title of all, head over to paintwithjosh.com, purchase it, and then come back and tell us your title. If not, then we're going to have to title it as a group. So I'm going to count on you guys to hit me with those titles. And that way, we can get this guy a nice little fresh little name. Because everybody needs a name. You gotta have a name. Guys. Okay. We got lots of brushes to clean up. And I'm just wondering over here, just because I've got some of the color, what if we came off of this guy like this? Just put a big old rock down here. Right, wherever you're an area that's too bright, chuck a rock in there, man. Boom, 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 fill it in. Get all the craziness, right? And then what if we came off of this guy? Just a little bit of grassery that's trying to grow up his side, right? Hanging out in the night, you guys. That's cool. That is cute. Make him a little darker, though. A little darker, put a lot more paint onto him, make him a little more scraggly, too. Just because it looks too real, you know what I mean? Or if it looks too round or whatever, it's not going to look real. There we go. Big old section of rock in the night. A little of my brown, little yellow ochre. Let's make a crazy old, just kind of tapping at him too. Just tap at the sucker, right? Tap and move. So it's not all the same. A little tappy taps. I like them. I like that, guys. Now, that's a pretty looking little painting if you ask me. Just if you're just asking old Joshery. I'm going to say that looks really cool. Really cool. Just super neat. Super neat, guys. All right, I'm going to finish washing off some of these brushes. You guys come up with a title for it. And then I'm wondering maybe if it needs a big tree or not. Like, do you think we need just an enormous tree? Or maybe it's good the way it is. What do you think? Let us know. Big old fallen tree would look cool if you ask me. Just an old fallen monster. But I think those look cool in every painting, so I'm not really the best person to ask. Because literally every time I'm like, yeah, tree, fallen tree, chuck it in. right. Woo, baby. Guys. I almost want to see something like coming straight up from the middle, but very lightly off the side. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gore to the chus. Just get a mistiness down. Finish the edges. Oh, it's gorgeous. I like it. Guys, we're gonna make this one wrap around the side over here. Launching down our grass on either edge. This will look really cool. That way, at least it wraps around the side of the canvas. I like that, guys. This one, I was gonna put a big old rock over here, but I guess we'll have to launch down some bits of grass because the rock was null and void after that. Oh, man. Dudes, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you got for a title? It seems like everybody wants the Discord when I'm on the air. Literally on the air means on the air. Okay. For free. Alright, let's get some of these brushes washed off. You guys! Over there in internet land. Just got a couple left. The old shakeout over here. Alright. This guy. That guy. Okay. There we go. Gorgeous. So, you guys start coming up with a title. And I'm wondering if we should just launch just a massive tree into this guy. Maybe a fallen one down onto the floor. Clean up all that stuff. No tree. Valhalla Falls. I like that one. Thank you for the follows, guys. I'll dig ya. Outstanding. I hate the rock that I added. That's okay. You don't have to add yours. You don't have to do that in your one. Please, by all means, do whatever you feel like. I just try to show you guys some cool stuff and how to do as many things as possible in one sitting. That's all we ever try to do. Over here, call it what? Mirror Mountain. I like that. I like that. Twin Peak Falls, Tranquility, Twin Peaks Forest. You guys are literally the best. Thank you for that, Vodka Gabowski. The one in your painting is nice too? What do you mean? Oh, the rock. Well, yeah, the rock. Yeah, we all love the rock. But then, yeah, the one in my painting is nice too. That's funny. Beyond the trees. Man, you guys are really cool. Mirror Mountain is cool. That's always neat. Always neat, guys. Go rest high on that mountain. Mount Olympus. I like Twin Peaks Forest. That's kind of cool. You guys. One falling across the creek, other side holding it up. That's what my thought was, kind of like this. If I dropped one in, it would go boop, like from here into the painting and kind of land back there. Isn't that fabulous? Just fantastic. This is oil paint, actually. Oh no, somebody ordered through the the Etsy store. What did you get? Oh, that's... Guys, don't shop my Etsy store. What are you doing? Dude, that's a cool poster print, though, right there. That's a cool print. Now I gotta go through Etsy, but it's okay. It's okay. Got him again. Oh, was that Evil J that said, is this oil or acrylic? Somebody ban him, please. That's it, Evil J. You are banned from the shows from now on. I'm gonna take it out of my link tree, I know. Thank you, Kayla, appreciate it. Yeah, Evil J likes to, he likes to think he's funny. Into the wilderness. I like Max Valhalla Falls. I was just going to bring that one back up again. Valhalla Falls. I dig it, dudes. I dig it. I'll see myself out now. I get that question so often that when I do see it, it's a very easy question to answer. I'm like, yeah, it's oils. Like, it's all oils. But, and I usually never pay attention to the name of the person that's saying it. So now, after I ban Jonathan, I won't need to look at the name to see if he is actually him messing around with me or if it's actually someone asking a question. So, that is easily fixable. As soon as I find him, I will find you. Oh, you guys are funny. Is this watercolor? Is it pastels? You guys go fuck yourselves. See what you started, Jonathan? See what you started over here? Lost River. So, I guess we're gonna have to go title it whatever we think the group thinks, because this one remains ungotten. So, let's get out here and let's pick an old title, my friends. There we go. Clean brush. Always with the cleaning, and then the touching, and then the cleaning, and then the touching, and then the cleaning, and then the touching of the canvas again. Always. Okay. You guys. Let's just see over here. Everybody. Everybody clap your hands. Just that. Flip this guy around just like so. Whoop. And I think we're going to go with Max title, Valhalla Falls. How do we spell that, though? Is it 2 L's or is it 2 L's? I forget. It is 1 L and then 2 L's. Okay. Copy it. Let's get over here. Like this. Like that. Original number 1676, the year that our country was founded. 1676. What are we calling it again? Valhalla Falls with 1 S, with 1 L and 1 F. Painted on 1/27 of 2024. We're all gonna go to paintwithjosh.com because it's the bestest place of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody clap your hands. Alright. Finish up the top of this old canvas right here because our easel tends to get in the way. So, got to paint the top, and usually if you're just using blue, it's nice and simple. Nice and simple. Alright, see how hard you have to go over the thing just to spread the paint if your canvas is not wet? It makes it so much more difficult. That's why we start out with that wet base coat, and it really helps our scenes, guys. Really cool. Okay, got this one last brush to clean up, and then it's been an awesome Monday. Really cool little mountain scene for you to try, test out, see if you like it. You can always have it look however you want it to look. If you don't like a certain thing, don't add it in there then. I don't give a shit. You don't like the rock? Don't put the rock in, man. Alright, if you do, then put it in. Very cool. Very cool, guys. He's so cool. Okay, so we came up with a wicked cool title. We painted an awesome painting. It didn't sell, but that's okay. That is okay, guys. But in the meantime, we're gonna throw the old signature on it, and then we'll get the H out of here, man. Get the F out of H. Come over here. F out of H. You get the out of here? That doesn't make any sense. There we go. Oh, you little stinker, you. It's okay. You guys probably can't even see it, but because the liner brush had a little bit too much thinner in there, it flicked like little black dots all along the painting. And we then had to go across. You need the paint to be very wet. Caw-caw! Just flying through the night. Oh, I like it. I like it, guys. So, what do you guys think? Do you just love it? Do you just love it so much? Because if you just love it so much, I've just knocked off, let's see. I just took off $40 off the price, bro. So get over there and grab it while you can. All right, it's been way too long since we've sold the one that we're working on. So let's drop the price and let's get rid of it. Come on. Who wants this bugger? You got to get over there fast before somebody else does. And we're going to put our little signature on it. Get up on out of here because I got to go pick up Bailey from volleyball practice. So this will be the only show for tonight. You guys are amazing. You know I love ya. And you know we always have a good time as often as we can. But I gotta go to pick up my kiddo from volleyball. And then we'll be done. It's my Friday too. You guys just started your work week. I'm just ending my work week. Because I do all my working while you guys are at home on the weekends, right? So, ooh, my hand is itching. Is somebody gonna get this painting? You know, they say when your palm is itching, that like means something's coming, right? Somebody gonna get this one? Because, dang, my hand is itching like crazy. Oh, God. Goodness. Gracious. Let's see. Not well, it went away. Okay, so you guys over on YouTube, it's back again. You guys are amazing. I love you. I can't wait to see your versions of this painting. Do you have a really cool 15 by 30 inch canvas that you don't know what to do with? Excuse me. Now, you know what to do with it, right? So, send in your versions to facebook.com/officialpaintwithjosh. And until I see you guys here next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And blah, blah.